Hello, this is John Boyer with your video changelog for this AI Shell 2.0 release. I've had a bit of a fun with this. I did a couple things. I've added 4 features mainly. I've added support for Llama server, Llama 2 to be exact. So I've step 1 packaged llama.cpp and server for RPMs. So any Fedora, any Red Hat, Enterprise Linux, Amazon Linux, this is now packaged and fully supported and actually committed upstream to the llama.cpp project. Uh, what that means is you can just install this on your own. So I've got my own Llama server running over here. Maybe you can hear the jet engine going. And I can ask it, depending on whatever model that's using, hi Llama, what's my vanilla question? What year did Wisconsin become a state? Now, while that's doing that, and by the way, it's going to use a standard output, and that's a CPU workload right now, so it's going pretty slow. I did a few things here. I added audio out mode, so if you do aish-m or -a, adding the a flag, -m llama -a, that is an audio out mode, so it will do text-to-speech with the festival project. So I'll do that next, but first I want to show the group chat feature. So there's a mode switch now. And in fact, anytime you start a command or a prompt with a plugin that's supported, so for example, Bard, Google Bard, do you agree with Llama? This will take the entire thread, the entire context, and move that over to the other engine, right? The other LLM. So now I've asked Bard, based on this conversation, do you agree? And this is great. So it'll actually say, yes, Llama is correct, or yes, ChatGPT is correct. So if I do, for example, ChatGPT, capitalization doesn't matter. What do you think? And I've actually not done this before. Let's see. Ah, I have to fix that. Sorry. So ChatGPT, you can carry the threads over as well. So you can switch between them, which is kind of cool. Now, also, let me show the audio out mode -a. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not, but it uses by default, I set a voice to the Scottish accent. I don't know, just because for some reason it sounds the best to me. Festival is a great API for text-to-speech. And sorry, my camera seems to have froze. Festival is statically linked, so the binary is a little bit bigger, but you won't need to install any of the libraries. Okay, so if I do the same thing, year did Wisconsin, it switched to my other camera, sorry, a U.S. state, and I'll see if I can get this nice and close. So what it will do, it switches the O stream to
1848.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear that, but a Scottish person, a Scottish robot said 1848. So what this does is we've kind of added a custom O stream, so that instead of using cout, if you use the logs pointer in your plugin, when you develop a plugin over here, then that will take the text, and anytime there's punctuation or an end of stream or an end of line, that will read out the sentence or whatever buffer it has. So if you're getting a long response from text that includes a lot of output and takes a while to come in, that's great. If it'll actually buffer and look like it's coming in slower. Now, when I switch to Bard again, and I'll ask it something totally different. Bard, who was I don't know if it'll know this or not, 13th governor of Wisconsin. Lucky 13. So it'll automatically switch, and then it will get the answer and then read it. And I'll put the mic closer this time. Oh, it's still generating. What's the response? Lucius Fairchild was the 13th governor of Wisconsin.
Left bracket 033 MBARD 0M. Lucius Fairchild was the 13th governor of Wisconsin, serving from 1866 to 1872.
There you heard it, 1866 to 1872. Excellent. So the next step, obviously, I'm going to add voice recognition so you can have a full chat bot. I looked at using Julius for that. I tested using Julius, and it was pretty easy, but the results are not great. So I'm actually going to be using Whisper, the other project from OpenAI, once I package that for RPMs as well. So anyway, thank you. Enjoy. I also made plugin writing super simple. If you're going to write a plugin, and I'll show the code here instead. Um, really, I've done a lot of ugly things. C++ developers will hate me. The design pattern here is just to make a function. Doesn't matter how you do it. Um, returns an int for success, 0 success, anything else for an error. It takes a const string and for the command or whatever real input it's getting from the CLI. And then whatever you're storing, there's no class, there's no object oriented. I know that's a shameful thing to do, but it keeps things super simple. So if you want to store something perpetually, use a static value. If you want to, there's a couple of global things. There's a global thread now to keep track of that conversation that you can pass between bots, between AIs. And use JSON, JSON CPP, and also use the log pointer, which is a global pointer, and it is read write, which is even scarier. But the log pointer, instead of standard cout, will mean that your output will automatically be handled by whatever output mode is being used. So in this case, the chat, or the text to speech. So it will both print the output and do text to speech with that. So if you're writing a plugin, write a function just like this, super simple. It could be 5 lines if you need it. And then at the bottom, register it by instantiating a plugin. So a Bard plugin. I added Gemini support. I wish Gemini was still available. I didn't even spell chat Gemini, right? Let's just do Gemini. It's a stub because there's no Gemini API access. I don't have it yet anyway. Hopefully soon. So if you do this, you don't have to have any header files. You don't have to do any includes. You don't have to change any other code, right? All you have to do is a single file, create your function, and then instantiate a global one of these, which registers that with the singleton of plugins. So then all of these will be registered and listed as available plugins. And then once you do that, actually, you can use the context modes, right? So I can switch and say, hey, Gemini, as long as it starts with Gemini, comma, anything, uppercase, lowercase, what is my next question in the thread? So kind of handy, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoy. And again, this is just a fun project that I'm doing. So if anybody has any feedback, please give it. Right, thank you very much.